everyone. It is Mark Berman from TVMI. I am coming to you with Michael Teicher, who is the Executive Vice President, Media Sales at 20th Television.
Hi, Mark.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I've known you a very long time.
That's true. I get scared when I
don't want to say how many years.
Exactly. Exactly.
But there's not a 3 on the first number, is there? Is it that
No.
long? 2.
It could only possibly be 2.
Okay. I have to say, we're going to talk all about the business. We'll talk about media, syndication, whatever you'd like to talk about. But I do have to say that I'm facing right over here a poster of Modern Family. Do you know that at Nappy, the January of Nappy, after Modern Family premiered on ABC, I moderated a session at Nappy with the cast of Modern Family.
Oh, that predates me, but that must have been fun.
And I have to tell you, it was one of the most amazing things. Not only did I moderate a session, I actually took a stroll with Sofia Vergara. I walked her to the ladies' room.
A memorable stroll, I'm sure.
That was a very nice thing.
And as I understand, as a cast, they were and are unbelievably user-friendly.
Oh, they're very nice people. They're very nice people.
Terrific.
And it was such a hot thing at the time because we knew what a popular show that was. It was exploding. And here it is, season 5, and it's still doing well, and it's doing well for you in Off Network.
Yeah, it's really been a pleasure to sell the show.
I can imagine. Now tell me, how many years have you been at 20th now?
It's actually only been about 18 or 19 months.
Right.
Because I had an 11-and-a-half-year run prior to this at Warner Brothers.
Yes.
But I've been here about 19 months now, and It's really been a great experience. I mean, the culture of the company, the culture within our division, very entrepreneurial, allowing us to really take some chances and do some new and different things.
I've known the people at 20th. I don't want to say that 3 number, but I've known a lot of people a very long time. You have a ton of product are out there. I'll mention off the bat, congratulations on Celebrity Name Game.
Thank you.
You have a confirmed renewal for next season.
We do, and that's really been a nice little blessing in disguise. Craig Ferguson, we anticipated being a very fun and funny host.
Right.
And it turns out that this is, while it's a game show, there's certainly a lot of laughs along the way. So we're very excited. And, you mentioned that we have a lot of product. And we are in a lot of different genres.
Yes.
From game shows to court to talk shows. But obviously, as a studio, we're certainly most well known for our sitcoms and dramas.
Right.
So we feel very blessed. And predominantly, we reach a couple different audiences that make us unique to the television industry.
And one of your shows, which your very astute PR department is not shy sending me info, Dish Nation.
Yeah. Dish Nation.
Ass.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I can honestly tell you that I think we are unique in this standpoint. In the last month, we have 4 shows that have reached series high. Celebrity Name Game, Dish Nation, Wendy Williams, and Family Feud. So in a world of fragmentation where ratings are going down almost everywhere, we have 4 shows that have reached all-time series highs in the last month.
I have to tell you, Family Feud, I watch Family Feud constantly. It's on a lot. It's like a total addiction. Steve Harvey. There's been, I think, historically 6 hosts on Family Feud. I have to say he's my favorite.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the show, and again, predates me, was probably bordering on extinction 5 years ago.
Yes.
Ratings were doing about a 1.8.
Yes.
A few weeks ago, we did a 7.2.
Right.
And I do attribute it to Steve Harvey. And I think the other thing that he's done is most people I talk to would now say that Family Feud is a comedy. Less a game show, more a comedy.
True.
Because he is given the freedom and the space to be Steve Harvey.
Right.
And we identify the right families. So it's really worked out quite well. And young or old, it doesn't matter. Every meeting I'm in, there's a closet Steve Harvey watcher.
Well,
I should say
I'm out of the closet.
Watcher.
I'm total Family Feud, and his talk show also is doing well. And Wendy Williams, to me, Wendy Williams is a show that kind of snuck in. It was test run, started getting some good female demos, and here it is, several years later. And I think, from crunching numbers, I think Family Feud and Wendy Williams are probably the fastest growing shows in all syndication.
Yeah. Well, listen, I have to give our partners at Debmar Mercury a lot of credit because I think most studios would have canceled the show after year 1 and certainly after year 2. but they stuck with it, and they saw something in Wendy that, frankly, most people didn't see. The Fox television station group saw something in Wendy, so credit to Jack Abernathy. But the reality is this has been a steady rise for this show, and now it is doing demographics that are equal to some of the best demos in our genre, in all daytime. And my back-of-the-napkin theory is twofold. One, Wendy is as authentic as it gets. And I think her authenticity is really measured well by the women at home. In addition to that, she's now 50. She's got a 14-year-old son. So she's dealing with a lot of the same challenges that traditional 50-year-olds with 14-year-old sons are dealing with. So she's more relatable. And while she discusses celebrity, her celebrity by nature is very understated. She's pushing the shopping cart on the weekends like everybody else. Do you ever read about her at red carpet premieres and things like that? No, she's a normal mother. So she has just become more relatable, I think.
She's one of those people that, and I've interviewed her a few times, very nice woman, and she's one of those people that you want to high five. You know, you want to slap her. Hey, Wendy, you want to just give her a slap.
Very cool woman.
Very, very relatable. And I'll also say, we're going to talk about the business, but in terms of your individual shows, you've been active, or 20th has been active in the court genre for decades. And, you know, divorce court's been on for, I don't even know how many years now. It's been on for well over 10 years.
Yeah, it's an amazing genre. You know, I think there were times when maybe there have been a few too many entrants.
Right.
But I think, you know, the level is appropriate right now.
Right.
These are still profitable shows, and there is definitely a fan base for them. So we're going to continue with it.
Now, we're in the business now, as you know, as I know, as we all know. It's changing rapidly.
Yeah.
You know, when I do my job, which has become more difficult because you can't traditionally crunch ratings and say the show's working. It's not working. There's so much more to it now, particularly this growing social aspect.
Yes.
Now, speaking as somebody that's in the sales end of the business and you're actively out, you know, selling your product, and how do you monetize that? How do you deal with this growing social element? How do we know how everything is doing?
Well, I mean, I think that's partially some of the mysteries that are out there. We know that social aspects, Facebook, Twitter, those followers, the interaction with the TV shows, we know there's a correlation between the viewership growth and the cross-promotion that exists. I don't think anybody has been smart enough yet to figure out exactly how much or how it works, but clearly there is a correlation. So when you have somebody like a Wendy Williams with a lot of Facebook followers and a lot of Twitter followers, one of our sales to advertisers is to work with her on a cross-platform basis because her influence goes beyond simply the television show. And then frankly, from a monetization standpoint, we need to count those eyeballs, or we need to find ways to include marketers in those other platforms. And ultimately, hopefully when Nielsen, you know, gets it fine-tuned and correct where they are measuring across all the platforms, then the television media companies can be fairly rewarded for that viewership.
Is there anything that they're measuring now? Because, you know, I speak, when I go twice a year to the Television Critics Association press tour in Los Angeles, and they spoke about a year ago talking about what they would start doing to rate, you know, we'd start getting data. I haven't seen anything. Is there anything out there?
I haven't either, but I do know, or I believe it's coming. They have started to do some video on demand stuff. It has added just minuscule amounts to everybody at this point. But clearly I think the pressure is coming from all sellers in the industry. And frankly, the buyers too. The clients want to understand who's interacting with their content, and no matter what the platform is. So besides making sure that they're reaching the right number of eyeballs, how do they do it best? Because it's different across platforms.
I mean, it really is different. I mean, it's become so diversified, and you think to yourself, it's very exciting, yet it's very challenging.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I think we're living in a world in the last 12 to 15 months where things have changed in television, at least on the television sales and buying side, more than they had the 40 or 50 years before that.
I think so.
You know, we're dealing in an environment where people are arguing over C3, C7. You know, there's some people who want to be paid on C30 because of the extent of time that it's on VOD. Well, we're going the opposite route. As you likely know, our programs are viewed live. As a matter of fact, 97% live. Why? Because if you miss Family Guy or Modern Family on a Tuesday, watch it on a Wednesday.
Exactly.
So we are in a world that is driven by technology driving changes in the media landscape. We are immune to it. So really, what's fascinating and sort of counterintuitive is a medium like ours that's been around for a while, maybe one of the most effective out there at this point because our commercials are viewed live. We generally have A positions in our commercial pods, and they're very short, all of which are incredibly valuable to advertisers.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we're out there saying, you don't have to do C3, C7. We're willing to do C1 to put our money where our mouth is.
It's amazing how things have changed. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take a brief break.
Okay.
We're going to come back and pretend it's tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so this is part one. I will be back with Michael Teicher for part two tomorrow.
Terrific.
Which is really now. But we're going to lie a little bit. So we will see you back tomorrow. Take care.